Hey, good morning, traders, or good afternoon, wherever you are in the world today. Um, all right, it is now 2:48 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we're looking at the USD. Sorry, we're looking at the GBP USD 50-minute time frame. We're also looking at the Euro USD 50-minute time frame. We're looking at the USD JPY time frame, and we're looking at the Euro GBP time frame. Now, what we're doing now is we want to identify channels in these pairs. Now, looking at the GBP, there's pretty much not a strong channel going on here. We do have some level of consolidation at this point, at this level. Let's change the trend line, yeah, a little bit thinner. All right, so we have a little bit of consolidation here, and we have consolidation here. So not enough for me to say comfortably to take a trade, but we're going to leave that there for the time being. Here we have the Euro USD, and we can see a pretty tight channel here. So drawing our trend line, our support line at that area. Then we're going to draw our resistance line along this area. So let's enlarge that a little bit. So we have our channel here. Now, pretty much within this area is somewhat of a false breakout. So we're not going to use these highs, but we're going to use this high here and this high. And of course, if you notice, back to this area is also support resistance at this point and support at this point. So what we're looking for is strong areas of support and resistance within a line. And we can identify that by finding support and resistance just along this level here. So this level itself offers a decent resistance area where if the market breaks out, then we should expect a strong trend upwards. Um, so what we're doing now is we're waiting until the market actually breaks out of this channel, either to the north side or to the south side, to enter our trade. Um, Minimize that. Let's go to the Euro GBP. Okay, on the Euro GBP, we can see that at this point, the market already broke out of a channel. Market was in a channel here. We got the broke out, we got a pullback, and then the market is actually rallying at the moment. So at this point, I would not be focusing much on this pair because we already got the breakout, and this level of consolidation is not enough for me to say, okay, I'm taking this trade on a breakout path, on a breakout strategy. So right now my focus is primarily on the euro dollar, and I'm also going to be focused on the US JPY. Now, why am I focusing on the US JPY is simply because we have the breakout here, but typically what I look for is also the pullback. And we got the pullback. We got the pullback here. So technically, this year we're looking to trade this pair just about now. It is 2:52, so I'm gonna wait until 3 o'clock before I take the trade. But we already got the breakout. Um, Here we can see tweezer bottoms. Here we can see a doji or indecision candle, and then we see the breakout here. Then we see the pullback, And now we're just waiting on the candle to close before we take the entry. Now, had I seen the market at this level, then I would have taken the trade already. But because the market already moved, I'm just going to wait until we get that breakout. Sorry, we get that close of the 15-minute candle to take the trade. Hopefully, I can get a pullback into this level of support before taking the market upwards. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to pause the recording and wait until 3 o'clock and see what happens. All right, I'm back. All right, on the pound dollar, we see that the market is breaking out of its channel. Sorry. And as I said, I'm not really comfortable with trading it, but I just might. Um, with a question mark. And on the US yen, of course, we've seen that pullback into the into support. So we're looking to go long on this pair shortly. Um, so let's see. We're going to go into the market with say 7 lots. We're going to buy um, with our stop loss just 20 pips below. So we're going to go 120.19. Um, all right, so we're at the US yen. Um, so far, everything seems okay. So we enter the market at 120 that. So we're gonna go 120.19 for a stop loss, and we're gonna go 120.38. So 120.59 is our TP. So we got that locked in. We're still waiting on the euro to break out of consolidation. Um, we got the pullback there. We got the breakout on our USD, our GBP USD. So I think I'm gonna go again. As I said, I'm not very comfortable with trading this pair right now, so I'm gonna stand aside on this for the time being. Um, and one of the reasons is when we're looking at the pound dollar and then we're looking at the US yen, we're looking at pairs that are negatively correlated. So that means if the pound is trending upwards, I'm not really expecting the US to be trending, the US yen to be trending upwards just the same. So it offers somewhat of a question mark for me in saying trading both pairs in the same direction. So for right now, I'm gonna stand aside on the pound dollar and focus primarily on the US yen, simply because based on my price action analysis, this is what I'm looking at. We're looking at a upswing of swing low to swing high. Then we're getting that pullback. So we got this pullback here, and then now the market consolidated along this area. Now, as the market consolidated along this area, we've seen these two tweezer top, this tweezer bottom, sorry, this tweezer bottom here that pretty much signifies an uptrend. Then we have the market rallying just a little, then falling back to support, and so we have this indecision candle. So what this is telling me is that there's more pressure to the upside than there is to the downside, and therefore the market has a tendency of getting back to this area of resistance um, at some point in the future. So currently the market is going up. Let's see what happens within the next few hours, or let's see the next few minutes. So we'll be back in say 15 minutes or so to see how the trade is progressing. Stay tuned. All right, I'm back. All right, so let's take a look at what's happening here. We have the US yen going in opposite to my direction. We have the pound dollar, which I wasn't going to trade, um, already going in a good direction, up 30 pips so far. And had I traded it, of course, I'd be in and out of a trade right now. But nevertheless, that's how it actually works. I mean, sometimes you profit, sometimes you don't, but it's still early. Looking at my pound yen, my US yen trade, it's still holding above my support line. So there's still hope for my trade yet. Looking at the Euro USD, it actually failed to break over the support line, the resistance line. So we'll see what happens next. But for right now, let's still focus on my USJPY trade. So again, I'll be back in a while to see what's going on. All right, I'm back again. All right, so let's explain what's happening here. Now, we have we have the GBP USD, and we got that breakout of channel. Of course, I could have gotten my 20 pips had I taken the trade from this point to this point. We're looking at 28 pips. Yeah, I could have got my 20 pips and I'll be out of the market. However, as I mentioned about correlation, I do not necessarily want to be in the trade in the same direction with the euro, with the US yen and the pound dollar, because I think at some point I'm going to be on the wrong side of the fence. So rather play it safe. Now, what we're looking at here is we still have a strong downtrend on, let's maximize this. So we're still looking at a downtrend on the pound dollar. And if you notice where we are right now is that we are at resistance. So right along this line, this level, we have past support now becoming future resistance. Now, will the market break out? Not sure. But in the event that it does break out here, then this would be actually a good opportunity to go long and see if I can get my 20 pips into this area here. So I've been looking for a breakout into this area, such as a breakout. Then we're expecting that pullback, and then we take the trade to go long into this area of resistance. Now that will offer me 24 pips, so I'll take my 20 pips and then I'll run. So for right now, as I said, the market is holding at past support, now holding as future resistance. What will happen in the next 15 minutes? We are not sure. So let's see what happens. In the meantime, let's take a look at my yen trade. Now, the yen trade, we have an uptrend, definitely an uptrend, and we have that consolidation into this level here. So the market found support here a few hours ago, broke out above here, and then the market rallied and then dipped. Now, as it dipped, it found support along this area of this area where it was holding at as resistance, now holding as support. So, expecting the market to actually still rally into this area of resistance, probably before it actually breaks out. So, right now we still see the market holding, and I'm still expecting the market to rally. So, this is why I'm holding my trade and see what happens. Now, once this goes up, then I'm expecting the US, the pound dollar, to actually start falling. But again, I could be wrong. But let's see what happens. Um, the pound dollar is actually rallying at the moment. So as I said, if it continues to rally, I'll be waiting on a retracement back into this area, then I'll go long. If it doesn't, then so be it. But right now, my primary objective is to watch the US yen trade and get my 20 pips. Then I'm out of the game. Then I'll be done for the day. All right, so now we have the yen trade progressing as we have predicted, and then we have the pound dollar retracing as we've predicted. And if you notice on the euro dollar, we have the euro dollar holding at resistance here. So the market is actually rejecting price at this point, which means we could get a fall of price back into this area and then a break below. So if we get a break below here, then of course we'll be taking a trade to go short in the next few hours. So let's see what happens. Actually, let's play this out and see what happens. I know this is actually a long video and it could be boring, but nevertheless, let's see what happens. Now, as the market progresses into with my US yen trade, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start tightening my stop. So I'm actually protecting my trade or narrowing my risk. So now my risk is only 10 pips, and still I'm still looking for my 20 pips in profit. We have the market um, retracing on the pound dollar, and if the market closes below this resistance line, then of course I'm expecting the market to fall back into this area of support. Not forgetting about our EURUSD trade. As you see, the EURUSD is retracing back into the level of support, which could offer us an opportunity to go long eventually. But I'm not really going to focus on the EURUSD tonight or this morning. So my main analysis, my main focus right now is on the US yen. And strictly because we have done our technical analysis and the probability of the market going north with the US yen is very high. All right, so it's now 3:30, almost 3:30. We have a pin bar being formed at resistance here. So we have a pin bar being formed at resistance, which will be closed in the next few seconds. As long as the market holds below this area within this range and forms a pin bar, then I'm actually expecting a decline in of price. If you notice on our euro dollar, price is declining at the moment, and we are expecting price to get back to this area of support and then possibly a breakthrough. Now here we have a tweezer top being formed at resistance. Oh, wow. Actually, ladies and gentlemen, we're actually looking at a 1 hour time frame here on the US yen. Sorry, it should actually be 15-minute time frame. So here we had the US yen on the 15-minute, now the 15-minute time frame. Market rallied and then retraced back to support And as you can see, the market held on support here for quite some time, and then now the market is actually rallying. So once we get to this red line, we're closing the trade, and then we can call it a day. All right, we're 20 minutes into the trade, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause it for a minute and get back once the price gets into this area of resistance. See you soon. All right, let's keep it running. At least you can see how the how price progresses. Now, just as I indicated, if we get a pin bar here, then I'm expecting price to decline back into the area of support. So said with this, we have a tweezer top and see market retracing back into support here. We could get that breakout and to the south side. So once we get that breakout, then I'm looking to take the trade um, to go south. So what I'm expecting, I'm expecting a breakout. Then we're expecting that pullback. And once we get that pullback, we enter a trade to go short. And once we go short, we take our 20 pips and then we're done. Our yen trade is moving nicely. We're just a few pips from our take profit area. So looking to exit anytime now. The euro pound is has retraced back into support. Will it hold? We're not sure, but not really focusing on the euro pound at the moment. Just focusing on the US yen, and we're also focusing on the euro dollar. So let's see what happens with price in the next few minutes. Currently, I'm up 600 now, $700. Um, let's see if I can show you guys. Price is rallying into my take profit area. We're now up $807. Now we are way over, say, 30 minutes into our trade, and the account is up $720. Market is shy 5 pips, 7 pips of my take profit. So let's see what happens. Let's see if it actually gets to it. I'm gonna move my stop loss to say just below break, just above break even. So at least I locked in a few pips just in event the market decide to go against me. At least I've locked in a few pips. All right, let's expand this a bit and see what's happening with price. All right, as we see, there's nothing holding the market here that should interfere with our take profit level. So just waiting on the market to do what it has to do. The market has already broken out of this area of resistance. So we could expect a pullback into this area before we actually get that rally into this area of resistance. So one thing with forex trading, and that is it requires patience. And patience I've been able to acquire over the years of trading because the market does what it wants whenever it wants. So um, just stay tuned and let's see how this thing plays out. All right, here we go again. Um, I am getting a bit impatient considering it is now 3:41 and I am very much sleepy. So I think I should take my trade and run, but I'm still sure that the market is going to rally back into the era of into my take profit area. So let's move my stop loss up a little bit, protect some more profit. I don't expect the price to get beyond this price if it actually does retrace before getting to my take profit level. Um, I'm up $700. We'll see what happens. All right, your price goes again. So it is now 3:45 and price is heading to my take profit. I'm up 1,016, 1,021. Um, should I just close and go to bed? Yeah, I should. But I'm a disciplined trader and I believe it's going to go to my take profit and actually um, continue rallying. So I'm going to take everything that I need to take and then call it a day. But for right now, again, I'm going to move my take profit, my stop loss much closer. So now I've locked in at least 8 pips and let's see what happens. Again, we have very strong buying pressure in the market at the moment. Once you see price reacting the way it is along a resistance level, it actually means we have a lot of buying pressure in the market and we have sellers and buyers at the moment fighting for dominance. So we have the sellers pushing the market downwards, but we have more buying pressure in the market and trying to push the market upwards. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to exit my trade eventually and call it a night because I am extremely sleepy. But rest assured that that the market will get to my take profit and it will continue to rally. And let's just give it another minute or two. this is where patience is a virtue, because as we see price hover along our take profit, sometimes we are eager to get out of the trade before we actually achieve our profit target, and that can throw us off in terms of our risk to reward strategies, in terms of our money management aspect of it. And what will tend to happen many times is that traders will tend to take profit way before they actually reach their take profit level. But nevertheless, we have already locked in profit. Therefore, we have a risk-free trade on our hands. And the market can only do one of two things. It is just going to hit or take profit, or it's going to hit our stop loss, but at the same time, it's going to hit our stop loss with us already in profit. So we are really risking nothing. We have nothing to lose, but more to gain. And we are not being greedy. It's just that we have already set our plan, and our plan is 20 pip risk, 20 pips profit. And as you can see, there's a fight between the bears and the bulls at the moment along the resistance level. And that is ordinary, that is normal. We are expecting some level of resistance along that area. But once the market breaks through that resistance, we should get a surge in price. All right, so it's been more than, say, 8 minutes since the market has been along this area. So I'm actually going to close my trade now. But nevertheless, I do believe that the price is going to exceed this area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a level there. And if price actually breaks through it, then I will do another video on it. Um, Pretty much indicating where price had gone to. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is now 3:50. I am heading off to my bed. So, happy trading and good night. I'm back. All right, so we see that price actually hit or take profit. Of course, I exited the trade just 5 pips shy of my take profit area. No sweat, no problem. But I made an executive decision because I wasn't sure exactly how soon before price got to this area. And of course, as I said, it's now 3:30, almost 4 o'clock. So I need my sleep. So looking at the euro dollar now, we see that price actually broke out of the channel here. So we're expecting a short also. So I'm expecting a retrace back into resistance area here. And then once we get that retracement back into resistance, then you could actually take a trade to go short. Um, I will not be trading anymore for the rest of the day. I've actually made my did my quota, so I'm done for the day. But nevertheless, you've just witnessed a trade, and in the space of say an hour and a half, we actually profited $894. And we could have done more. We could have done at least $1,000 in trade. But as I said, we're not being greedy. And we saw that price was reacting along this area for quite some time. And usually when that happens, there's a 50-50 possibility that price may have gone to this area, or it may just have retraced and then eventually rally. So not being greedy, we actually closed at the same time in profit. Later today, I will do a continuous video on this pair and see what happens later on as the market progresses. But right now, I'm expecting the market to continue falling. And will I be trading it? No, as I said, I won't be trading it. So until next time or until tomorrow morning, happy trading, guys, and see you soon. Take care.